Okay, we're going to do shape number 4 for us today. So the first thing that we need to do is get our dimensions. So if we're looking at here, so my overall size is going to be a ½ inch, 1 inch, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5. So it's going to be 4.5 inches. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to count total back. So it's a ½ inch, 1 inch, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4. So it's going to go 4 inches back. And my extrusion to the top of it, we're going to do a ½ inch, 1 inch, 1.5 inch, 2, 2.5 inches. So 2.5 inches extruded to the top. So it's 2.5. So that's going to be the first shape that we're going to make. So I'm going to go in to my basic shapes folder, create myself a new document. I'm going to call this shape 4. And I'm going to go ahead and create this shape. Just like with everything, lots of ways that you can do this. I'm going to build from the floor up on this. So I'm going to hide my front and my right planes. I'm going to be just on the top. Add a sketch to the top plane. N key so that it faces me so it looks nice and neat. I'm going to add my rectangle in at the point of origin. Oh, I got to get my measurements. I almost forgot. So let me escape out of this. Let's delete that real fast. And I'm going to make sure my measurements, workspace units, are going to be in inches. There it is. So now my workspace units are inches. I'm going to try that again. A sketch on the top plane, add my rectangle, start at the point of origin, dimension this out just like we've done before. So the length of it is going to be 4.5 inches. The width of it here is going to be 4 inches. And I'm going to extrude it out. So now I'm going to rotate my view a little bit so I can kind of see it here. Finish my sketch, extrude, click on the plate. It's going up. It needs to go up 2.5 inches, 2.5. And there's my shape. So now I have my basic shape. I'm going to hide all of my planes now because I no longer need them, because I'm going to work off of this now square shape that we've got here. So the first thing that we're going to do is I'm going to put something on. I'm going to take out that circle at the top. So when we go back to this, we can see this. So I know that this is this distance here was going to be, I need a ½ inch on either side. So this is a ½ inch, 1 inch, 1.5 inch, 2 inches, 2.5 inches, 3 inches. So this is a 3-inch side. Oh, I messed that up. So that's a 3-inch side. Let me go back and change that real fast. So I'm going to go back into my sketch 1 here, and I'm going to change that measurement to 3 inches. Now what's great about this is, so I change that measurement, what it will automatically do is it changes everything for us. So now I've got it set to the 3 inches, and so I've got everything set. So it should be a 3-inch wide. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add on to the top of this, and I know I've got a ½ inch on either side, which means I leave 2 inches. So my circle needs to be a 2-inch circle. So I'm going to add a sketch right here on the top, and to normalize it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my circle shape. Now, if you zoom in, one of the things that you can see here is as I rotate this in, when I get zoomed in, where I put my center point of my circle, it'll change to let me know I'm at the midpoint. There's the midpoint. See how it gets that square? I'm going to click to drop that circle down, and I'm going to dimension this circle at 2 inches. So I'm going to get close, use my dimension tool, and here's my circle, and I'm going to make the circle 2 inches. So there's my 2-inch circle. So now I'm going to extrude that down. So I'm going to finish that sketch. I'm going to extrude that circle down. So I'm going to hit my extrusion, click here. I'm going to change the direction to take away, change it to remove because I'm cutting out. Just going to pull it down through, and boom, there it is. So I've got my top part of my circle taken out. Now I need to take out the circle on the left side. So I'm going to rotate this view around here so I can see the left side. This is what I want to see. And I'm going to take the circle out, and it looks like the circle's coming from the front part of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a sketch on the side, add a circle. my circle diameter is going to be right at the top, and I'm going to drag it out. Now what I'm looking at here for the circle, if we look at this and we go back and count, so I'm going to go back here and show you this. If I go back here and I look at this, I can see that this circle is, because if I've got a 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1.5 inch, 2 inches, 2.5 inches, so 2.5 inches would be half of the circle, right? But I've got a 1/2 inch there. So 1/4 of the circle is going to be 2 inches. So that means the total diameter of my circle is 4 inches, because I'm getting essentially 1/4 of it here. So I'm going to make a 4-inch circle to get everything to where it needs to be. So I'm going to go back into my shape here, and I'm going to make this circle, dimension it out to be a 4-inch circle. So I'm going to dimension this, and I want to make it a 4-inch circle. So there's my 4-inch circle. And then what I want to do is I'm going to finish my sketch here, and I'm going to start my extrusion, but I need to know how far do I need to go in. So if I look at this, it's a 1/2 inch in, 1 inch in, 1.5 inches in, 2 inches in. So I'm going to go 2 inches in for my circle. So I go back to my model here, extrude, click on just that top part, change the arrow because I'm going in, I'm removing, and I want it to go 2 inches. So there's 2 inches for us, and I hit the check box, I'm done with it. So now the last piece that I need to do is to put my hole on the front, add my sketch, put it on the front, end for normal so I can see it. I'm going to drop my circle in here. I know that circle is a 1/2 inch because I remember what it looked like from before. So I'm going to dimension that circle to be a 1/2 inch. So dimensioning it to be 0.5. So there's my 1/2 inch circle. I just need to know where does it go. So if I look at this from my right edge, it's going to be a 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1.5 inch to the center point. From the top is going to be a 1/2 inch, 1 inch. So 1.5 from the right, 1 inch down. Perfect. So I'm going to go back in. I've got my dimension tool in, so I'm going to zoom in a little bit so I can see closer. From the edge to the center, well, I got pretty close, 1.5. From the edge to the center is 1. And there's my hole. So I'm going to hit finish. I'm going to do my extrusion, click on the circle. I'm going to take the circle out. I rotate around so I can see it, change the direction. I'm going to pull that circle all the way through because it goes all the way through. Make sure I do remove. And there it is. Part number 4 is done. So that's it for part number 4. So we're going to go ahead and close this document out and start on part number 5. So close.